Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be looking at the middle class money habits that block wealth, really having the ability to escape the rat race. So if you're like a majority of people, you work a 9 to 5, you work 40 hours a week, that is kind of where you're struggling or where you're stuck at. It's no secret the middle class is stuck within the financial trap of working only to pay the bills without getting ahead. So we're going to be looking at exploring 5 money habits that can actually change up what you have going on with the rat race. So first of all, what is a rat race? This is where it is the never-ending self-defeating cycle where you're kind of trapped in the pursuit of making ends meet. When you're trying to get ahead, it seems impossible. There are some very specific things you can do to get out of this, but it is living paycheck to paycheck, living in debt, making sure that you're, a lot of people are working a ton of hours or being kind of undervalued, kind of being underemployed within their institutions, wherever they may work, makes it very, very difficult to escape. So to really get away from this and change your mindset about the rat race, guys, is really coming with a couple different habits. Now, breaking these habits or understanding these habits are really the goal that we're going for today in this video. Number one being overspending. One of the main reasons why people find it so difficult is the middle class is the well-known overspenders, guys. When you look at keeping up with the Joneses, when you look at your spending habits, you would rather have assets than no assets and no bills. So essentially, we buy a lot of stuff to live comfortably. With that comes a lot of payments, comes a lot of interest. So not only are you paying, let's say, $30,000 for a new car, you finance it over 5 years, really ties you to the job, hinders the ability to really accumulate wealth. But that, $30,000 car over 5 years, you're now paying $34,000, $35,000, $36,000, depending on your credit and your rate. So you're overspending for the cars. And then when you stack on top of inflation being kind of out of control, the price of gas, the price of food, everything else gets eaten up by your money. When you look at even small things, guys, when you look at things like monthly memberships, subscriptions to streaming services, a lot of things really just chip away little by little when it comes to the money that you are getting over the course of a week. That is why we really focus on this channel about building a budget, guys. Budgeting is huge. The earlier and the more that you try this, and not just kind of partially try it, maybe download an app real quick that you pump some information into, you really have to embrace the ability to create a budget. You need to know where every dollar goes every single month, every time you get paid. More money, less money, whatever it may be, there has to be some place that you're putting your money, guys, that you're putting in investing, that you're putting in savings, that it is not being burned up by the things that you're doing regularly. Second one, consumer debt. This is the greatest enemy to your financial freedom. That is why a majority of people between credit cards, loan balances, that is really the lifestyle, guys. There are very few people that are completely debt-free, which is, in my opinion, completely unsatisfactory. Paying high-interest credit cards, when you look at vacations, cars, gadgets, little things that a lot of people buy, they're not saving the money. They're not budgeting and saving the money to actually purchase those items. They're purchasing the items and then paying for them over an absorbent amount of time. When the consumer debt gets to the point of almost $1 trillion of credit card debt in the United States, that is really the breaking point. There will be a point, guys, where we cannot borrow any more money, whether it is as a nation with our national debt. There's going to come a point where we cannot take on any more debt. It is unfathomable that we've gotten to this point. Now, the rich use debt to build wealth, which is kind of interesting, through real estate, through businesses, things of that nature, while the middle class uses debt to buy depreciation consumer assets that go down in value. If you bought a brand new car, chances are when you get a couple years in, that depreciation asset or that asset has depreciated to the point where it has a much lower value. The debt, you should not use debt to buy things that depreciate and buy things that go down in value. Let me say that one more time, guys. Debt should never be used for things that will go down in value or give you little value. Interesting point to really think about. Third one we look at is not prioritize saving and investing. This, again, the creation of wealth is really the basic fundamental building blocks for wealth. Many of the middle class treat these crucial habits as an afterthought. Savings is if I have any money left. Investing is if I have time, if I have money. I don't want to, I don't know what to invest in, is what I see a lot of people talk about. To escape the rat race, you have to prioritize saving and investing. When you look at compounding interest, guys, it is a game changer for the rest of your life. This is why a general rule of thumb, automating the investing, remembering pay yourself first, invest in your education to make better decisions about your financial information and your money. When you look at the internet, when you look at the accessibility to a younger generation to have literally knowledge, an unlimited database of knowledge with the internet at your fingertips. If you've ever wanted to learn how to budget, there's thousands of YouTube videos. If you wanted to know how to invest, again, you could go through and find anything that you need to really get started if you really want to. It's a point where you need to take accountability for yourself, really knowing your actions, how you can improve it, and how you can change it. So number 4, we get into the cash flow or having no cash flowing assets, which again, this is where it is really just the money coming in from a paycheck. That is really one of the big things. When you look at cash flowing assets such as passive income, putting money in your pocket with no effort, making YouTube videos, doesn't take an incredible amount of effort, but you do get kind of a passive income. So if I make the video, I put it out over the next day, week, months, even years. Anything that is generated from YouTube after creating that initial video is passive income that is coming in. When you look at dividends from stocks, when you look at getting a return, let's say on CDs, on savings accounts, high yield savings accounts, things like that, it is passive income where you have little to no effort, but the money just continues. The middle class often lacks these assets, relying solely on income from their job. So you're really tied to one thing. Now, again, me doing YouTube, it's kind of a side thing that I do. I love doing it. I'm very, very excited for the videos that we produce. But overall, guys, any income generation from YouTube goes into investing to beef up that passive income through dividends, and also to beef up the stock portfolio, where if the stocks grow or when they do grow, I'm going to have an incredible asset right there. Break the cycle, focus on acquiring cash flowing assets, looking at real estate, dividend stock, bonds, high yield savings accounts, rental properties. There are, again, so many things that you can really figure out. 21st century cash flow relies on digital assets, ebooks, e-courses, YouTube, websites. Look at social media, see where you can make some money. That is going to be of a passive nature. These capital and time investments can help create multiple income streams, unlimiting or unlocking your financial freedom. Final one we're looking at, guys, is business ownership. Now, this is something, again, that is very near and dear to me. When you look at Warren Buffett, when you look at Charlie Munger, when you look at a lot of other individuals that are wealthy in the investment space, building or owning companies is really one of the best ways, in my opinion, to build wealth. When you look at, owning shares of different companies, really having the business ownership, many middle class individuals work for someone else. They trade time for money, which is kind of the trade that a majority of us do. There's nothing wrong with it, and people do love their job, but it limits your income. This is really one of the biggest mental mind shifts that I had to really overcome, I guess. So if you're getting paid $20 an hour, you're working 40 hours a week, there is only X amount of dollars that you can put. If you go in there and you do an absolute fine, great job, knock it out of the park, putting 120% in every single day, you're still going to get the exact same amount of salary. As the person that comes in, kind of does their job okay, just kind of flies behind the radar, under the radar, that is making the same income that you are. Again, there might be other possibilities, things of that nature, but they're making the same dollar amount that you can make. You're capped with your limited earning income with a traditional job. That is something, again, all of these fundamentally, if I would have known these years ago, much earlier in my life, would have changed the game, honestly. Owning a business can provide numerous benefits, tax advantages, control over your income, potential for passive income, and also looking at some jobs or looking at some places, starting a side hustle, doing something of that nature. But just like YouTube, the more time and effort that you put into it, the more return you can see from it. Most traditional jobs do not have that ability, guys. You really get stuck with working that 9 to 5, regardless of how much exponential effort you put into your position, into your job. For a majority of us, you are really stuck doing the exact same thing for the exact same pay for the exact same amount of time. If you're in a traditional job and you get a salary raise once a year and you have no incentive package, no incentive to really try, develop, push yourself to grow at an employer, chances are you're going to be in this rat race forever. because again, you don't know anything else, or you don't know another way to do it. Now, businesses also give you leverage with employees, sales, income, really being wealthy. And again, if you're not in the entrepreneurial spirit, if you don't want to start your own business, owning business or owning stocks, shares of another company will create passive income, guys. It does not only the growth aspect. When you look at a stock, like I always say, the S&P 500, the ETF, people need to hold that. I really feel like investing in the 500 biggest companies in the nation makes a really, really big difference that you can hold. It's going to pay dividends. It's going to grow. Even if you invested in there considerably many years ago, the passive income would be there. Guys, just to recap, curb excessive spending and focus on getting assets instead of liabilities. That is really the looking at the net worth calculation. So your assets minus your liabilities. Majority of people are break even, red line, or possibly even in the negative. Eliminating high interest consumer debt. We've talked about this forever. Getting rid of those credit cards, guys. It is imperative. Prioritize saving and investing some of your income. You have to do this consistently, and you have to do it every single month. Seeking out cash flowing assets that can create multiple income streams, and then also taking ownership of a company or ownership in a company will help not only diversify your income, but you can definitely have some other benefits from that. So all right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.